everybody, this is Sweet Tea with Christy, and this is my fourth one. This one we're going to talk about second shooting, and I have Mr. Cole.
Hola.
He is one of Calgary's finest photographers. He's also a second shooter of mine that I adore when I can get him because he's super busy. Shoots way too much, in my opinion, but that's another story for another day.
Setting limitations.
So anyway, the whole premise of today is about second shooting. What is it? Why do we have it? How does it benefit you, the bride and groom? How does it benefit other wedding vendors? And second shooting is where you have two photographers. One photographer is your prime. This is the person you hire, you have a contract with, and that you love. And the other person is brought in by that photographer that knows you and to provide any supplemental photo taking, such as the groom getting ready, if I'm doing the bride, or vice versa. Ceremony, just to get another angle.
Sometimes multiple locations. The bride and groom can be too far apart to get proper coverage.
Yep.
Getting detail shots while working with the couple directly.
So basically they come down, they're like my arms and legs that I just can't physically be everywhere at one time, so they kind of help me and alleviate the pressure. They are paid per hour on average. Usually there's a contract in place between the first and second shooter. But the most important thing is to know that you may or may not get one with your package and ask. It doesn't, and my favorite is the dynamic duos. These are the brides, these are the wife couple, husband team, or partner team, where they shoot weddings together. We have a lot of them. It's like, seems to be a real big trend to have tons of photographers that are husband-wife team. In my opinion, I don't think they're any better or worse than a photographer that hires second shooters. I don't think that necessarily, in my opinion, you have to have two photographers at every scenario. But we are talking about second shooting, so that's what we're going to talk about. So, my question is, you're a second shooter. Why do you second shoot?
Primarily, I second shoot for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
To develop my own creativity. The chance to work with other photographers and work with different people inspires me.
Okay.
It helps me see ways of shooting and different styles of shooting. It does nothing but make me a better photographer.
Okay.
Even though I book full wedding seasons for myself and probably, like Christy said, take on too much work.
Like, how many weddings do you do in a year? By yourself?
30 plus. That's the mom look I just got.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, I will still sign up for probably 5 second shooting gigs throughout the year just to try to work with a variety of photographers and constantly inspire myself and constantly learning.
So how many people would you say that you would second shoot for on average, or in the past, how many second shooters have you worked for as a second shooter?
Well, primarily you, many times. I have my first one with the Chandros, with Haley coming up.
Haley, hi guys, hey Michael.
I've also had this dynamic partnership with a couple of other girls that it's kind of a triangle of second shooting, where we second shoot for each other all the time. There's always one primary photographer who took the booking, but then through that support system of having two people that you can build a relationship with and have, I don't know if you want to touch on more on that now, but I was going to compare it to the way that couples work.
Yeah.
So we build a comfort with each other and the way that they have a comfort and an understanding of what the other person's doing by using and kind of working with the second shooter often, just like I did with these other people, Carrie Vokey and Maya Dillon. They
both really good people, by the way.
Wonderful people. We all went to school
together. I
together.
have a girl crush on Vokey. She's so cute. I think I do. I have a girl crush on her. This is that one going to be recorded and live.
No going back.
No going back.
We just constantly support each other, and just the quality of work that comes out of knowing. I have one really funny anecdote. Me and Carrie were shooting a wedding together, and I was shooting primary, and she was my second on this one. At the exact same time, we both laid down in the grass to take the exact same shot.
Same photo, because you're anticipating each other's move.
But she had a 35, and I had an 85 on, so we were taking
two different
almost
angles.
A different shot, but we both were inspired to take the same through the grass kind of. feel something
Yeah.
a little bit at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just hilarious how we kind of work off of each other and inspire each other. And
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I hire you to be my second shooter whenever I need somebody that's really tall. People that are hipster, farm weddings, specific style that I think represent you as a person. So, I know there's something right on it though. It's gross. What is that?
Oh,
It's
it's
a
a
sticker.
sticker.
Anyway, so by the way, you guys should guess what's in our glass. I kind of gave it away by showing the color of it. If you do and you make a comment, you have to make a comment. Then I will send you a treat if you are right. And it's the first person that makes the comment that is right. But yeah, so I find that Dana, I hire a lot too. And it's because, well, she can fly anywhere for her lady thing. So I love putting her in my suitcase. I like hanging around her. I think she's a very dynamic individual who can get anything out of anybody. She's really good with guys. And she's the kind of like, usually you're 35 weddings and super busy. Now, Dana will shoot for 2-man, so I, a lot of times, which is another great photographer at Canmore, they're like gods and goddesses of the photography world, and I loathe them.
If Zeus had a camera.
Yeah, that would be
Maybe
them.
then
2 men,
and
totally. And, but no, so I have specific people, but then I also second shoot. So I second shoot on top of my weddings and my boudoir and the stuff that I do, and I won't do, I tend to have a cap. I won't do more than 10. And last year I did 12. So I did prime second for 3, and then the rest I did all with Karina Walker, who is just an amazing talent. She's been doing it for like 14, 15 years, and I don't know, she didn't look like she's old enough to do weddings for 14, 15 years. But she is. But anyway, I digress. So my favorite thing about having a second shooter is the fact that I can call him my work husband, and my husband doesn't get offended. Thank you, Joel. And then I have my work wife, which is either Dana or I'm Karina's work wife. And we really work well together, and I think it's important that when you have a second shooter, they're not just somebody that is just anybody. They're not just somebody right out of school. When you pay for me, you're paying for quality, and you're paying for that in my second shooter as well. And I don't take it lightly. I pay them decent money, and I make sure they eat. And this brings me into food. Brides keeps asking me all the time, they're like, if you're going to have a second shooter, do I have to feed them? If they're there and they work 8 hours, feed them. Or I'll give them my food and I won't eat. Because I can't. I wouldn't do it. If you, again, like I said before, if you come to my house, I'll feed you. I'm coming to your wedding, I'm working my ass off for you, I'm sweating like a $2 hoe is typically like my comment, and that sounds really bad, but it's what I say. Then I need to have food and drink for them. I will bring stuff, but yeah, feed them.
Gotta stay pumped.
You gotta stay, because the more energized we are, the more excited we are, the more fed and, we're going to make the best output for you, and we're going to tell your story authentically, because we're not distracted by hunger.
Just give me a bag of Skittles in the morning, and I'll
Skittles.
Probably just capture the most
Do you
energetic
only
day.
eat like the red ones or something, or do you want the whole bag?
The whole bag.
The whole
Can I touch on your point about dynamic like partners and stuff?
Yeah.
One of the biggest points I feel about couples is that it's a selling feature. They sell the image of their couple. They work together, they sell that whole dynamic. People love the idea of looking at someone in love and paying them to capture their love. Okay. So that's why couples
But I'm in love, but that doesn't mean.
Absolutely you are.
I'm in love. I love love.
But your love, like, then that's why
Yeah.
you could probably show your clients pictures of you and Joel while at something.
I don't know if we do. I don't think we do.
It's
my personal Facebook page, but I don't sell the fact, because if Joel came to work with me, I'd probably kill him. He's a construction worker, and he wants to build shit, and I'm like, get out of my way, I want to take photos of shit. So we would not make it at work, plus the technical skill. Like, he can play the guitar, he can do all these wonderful things, but that doesn't mean he's like a magnificent with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean he's never, I don't know, maybe if he tried, he would be awesome. But I think we need autonomy. Like, we work well separately. We like our task separately.
You totally went on a tangent away from what I was saying.
I'm sorry. Dynamic duos, you were talking about, like, they sell this as a feature. See, watch back.
The point of the feature is that you can do this with second shooters.
Yeah.
Is that you can sell that feature of when I tell people that I'm going to work with someone, like specifically like Carrie or somebody like that, I sell them. I sell the fact that we went to school together. We have a lot of the similar styles, but she's more feminine and I shoot a little bit more harsh. She's detail oriented. I'm text oriented. And you sell this dynamic as if you were the couple, even though they're just a second. Yeah. You can totally sell that and be in the same running game with those couples that get to know each other really, really well. And, so and so's off just doing that. I know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why can't I build that relationship as a second shooter and with my own second shooters?
Yeah. I think that's why we work well together too, though.
Exactly.
I can just see him like,
and
it's like we know.
I know what you're doing. Oh,
like, what are you doing?
What do you have on there? Oh, 7200?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
And that's a key thing. Like, we always use separate lenses all the time. We don't like to use the same lenses because we want to have a different outcome so we can put them side to side.
Take us to the whole Nikon Canon battle, which would just...
Nikon still runs out every day, all day long in my world.
Drop smash.
So anyway, that is it. That is second shooting. I don't know. I think you should... You're such a dork, Cole. That's why I love him. That's why I hire him. He's fun. He's good to go on road trips, too. So anyway, thank you guys. Sweet tea. Guess what we're drinking? Maybe you'll get one for free. Bye.